week 1 of a new series where I read a book in one sitting every single Sunday. We're starting with Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden because I was so excited to have gotten an arc of this one from the publisher. This will be completely spoiler free. Her books are always so entertaining, but they can be hit or miss for me, especially some of her newer books, so I'm going to go into all my thoughts and feelings without giving anything away. I went into this book blind, but the basic premise is that we follow our main character, Debbie, who has a lot going on in her life. She is an advice columnist, and we get a sneak peek into this every few chapters or so. We get a little advice column from her drafts that she hasn't sent anywhere, but they're always unhinged. For example, the book starts out with a submission from somebody who's looking for advice for how to get her family to eat breakfast before they go to school, and Debbie gives her some sound advice and then ends it with, if this doesn't work, try locking them inside of the house and they can't leave until they eat. It gets more unhinged from there, but you get the idea. She does this part-time. Her husband is kind of the breadwinner in her family, and she has 2 teenage daughters who she's kind of feeling like she's losing a grip on. You can see me react to something here. I was absolutely shocked. But anyways, in the beginning of this book, we see her lose her job and start to spiral, and this book is her revenge story. Here we are again. I had to actually take a moment and just process what I just read. As a whole, this book is about a woman who's finally deciding to take justice into her own hands with killer results. Now, none of that is spoilers. That is all just from the back of the book. And when I tell you I was shocked by the plot twists in this one, I actually think this is one of her most unhinged books yet. Like here, I think my jaw is actually unhinging from my face. Make sure when you sit down to read this book that you have an entire afternoon blocked off, because I promise you will not want to get up after you start this book. This was the fastest read of my life. I took no breaks. I just read straight through and I loved every single second. Look at my cutie husband coming to say hi. Adorable. Here's my answer when he asked me if I was liking it.
Crazy shit, my love. I'm like digesting it right now, and there's a lot going on here.
All in all, this took me about 2.5 hours to read through. I flew through this one and absolutely adored this book. I think this might be my favorite of her releases in the last couple of years.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do a separate video with like my full thoughts on this one, but this is insane. This book is bonkers. It might be one of her most unhinged thrillers yet, which is saying something because Freida McFadden is the queen of crazy twists. But like, I don't know, I almost feel like I have to reread this knowing what I know now, because I couldn't have imagined in my wildest dreams that this was the direction it was taking. I do recommend this one. I thought it was absolutely crazy and so much fun.